going live.
We're live.
We're live. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week. We're on I don't know, Cali's not here to tell us what range of number we're in for shows. So uh we'll just I think it's just gonna be you and I today. Hopefully Cali will be able to hop on here soon. I think Brad's got some previous engagements that he's dealing with. So why don't we just start off and do our introduction, and then we'll carry on with our conversation.
Well, I'll go first. Hey guys, Alex Mustatea. I'm a real estate investor based out of Hamilton with a focus on flips and multifamily conversion projects throughout the GTA, and most recently making a push in southwestern Ontario and Chatham region. Always happy to connect with folks. Had a very interesting week that I'll be happy to talk about shortly here. But hey, look at that! It's Cali. Nice.
What's happening? Happy Friday.
Yeah, Cali. But yeah, anybody who wants to connect with me, by all means, you can always find me on Instagram, Alexandru.Mustatea, or my phone number is at the bottom there. Go ahead, Cali. Jump in.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Just getting my audio set up. Cali Braithwaite out of the GTA. Actively investing in flips, assignments here in Ontario, and also aggressively in Moncton, New Brunswick, but in the gentlest way. If you ever want to reach out and hear about what I'm working on or connect with me, please do contact me at 289-207-5316, or catch me on Instagram at Grow with Cali. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Awesome. And of course, I'm Shawn Gunther here, and I'm actually in the Moncton, New Brunswick area. And anybody's looking to buy, sell, or invest here, I'd love to talk to you. We're always looking to expand our team also. So if you're interested in getting involved in real estate investing and don't really know where to start, definitely get in touch with us. You can reach us at area code 506-800-4289 or on Instagram at the Moncton Homebuyer. And we also have a Facebook page for Moncton Homebuyers as well, and you can reach me on Facebook just under my name, Shawn Gunther. So it's been a hectic week for a lot of us, I'm sure. I'm sure it has. Cali was here a couple of weeks ago, and he got to look at some of his properties, and we had an interesting visit there. And Alex has been telling me all about the craziness he's got going on in Hamilton. So why don't we start off? Who's got something that they wanted to discuss about their week so far?
Alex, you're the man.
Where did you go?
Well, so last Friday when we were on the call, you guys saw my family was in the car, my wife and my daughter. So we were on our way up to a cottage for the week, and actually we just came back this morning. I don't think I could pack the car fast enough this morning. I nearly put my son in the back just to get out the door fast. So it's definitely been an interesting week because that was our short vacation. But Cali, and you know this as well as Shawn, we had our mastermind gathering, our in-person gathering over the weekend, and I think we all had some choices on which one we can attend, which one we'd like to attend, but I decided to go on Sunday. So Sunday morning, I drove from the cottage back to Toronto, spent the day in Toronto, and then the night in Toronto at the hotel. So that was really good. And then I went back up to the cottage on Monday. And then the remainder of the week has been not challenging per se. It was, maybe in some ways, it was challenging to my organizational skills because I was away and yet still on the phone here and there dealing with minor problems coming up. But it's pretty interesting being able to deal with them, being able to delegate and solve problems while being remote. And I kind of enjoyed it. I think in the end it worked out well. Solving problems that otherwise I would have driven to site and kind of dealt with myself. I called up the contractor. This was something outside of his scope, but I asked him to handle a water line upgrade. And, it was just the conversation was, hey, man, yeah, I get it. You're away. I will deal with it. sure enough,
Nice.
I was in a hurry this morning, and after I dropped off my family at home, I went to site. Sure enough, it got dealt with, man. Like I did not need to be there. Yeah, it's a nice change.
Sometimes when you're so far away that you can't be there, it's better because you're forced to figure out ways to solve the problems without you physically being there, right? And that's I've definitely noticed that myself, where local projects, I spend way too much time there because I can, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it. So I think you'll probably agree, Cali. Part of your success in Moncton not being able to be there is having highly reliable people involved in, like, on your power team. We're talking about, well, Shawn for one, but also Daniel, really. When it comes to the hands-on aspects of things, so that I think takes, like, people getting into real estate are a little bit fearful of that at the front end, because it does take a few projects to start building these sort of teams or these relationships that you can rely upon them when you are away. So it's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, well,
it's the who, right? I say it so many. I think maybe every week I say it once or twice, but it's so true. It's the who. Like, no matter where you are, I think if you're going to scale anything, you can't be the one doing the thing that's being scaled, right? So you have to be able to find a way to either delegate or partner or whatever. But it's definitely the who. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And it's funny, I guess, further to my week, I've had numerous conversations on a few other fronts. We hired somebody in Chatham. That decision was made last week, but the particular gentleman started this week. And, like, right off the bat, we're kind of implementing, like, something like company cam, just a way to stay on top of things. Like, he's sending us pictures, we're commenting on what needs to be done. Then he sends us updates on those items being completed. It's funny because I kind of feel like I've had some of the biggest growth this past week while I was on vacation. Conversations on implementing bookkeeping practices. I connected with an accountant that I look forward to meeting in person and kind of getting going on that end, and just putting together some major things that, I think, to your point, otherwise I would have been too busy working on the projects locally. Now I was able to address these things from Muskoka.
Man, it's almost like a prime example of what we're always being taught, is to put yourself in that position, and it'll force yourself to figure ways to make it work, right? So, like, by you hiring somebody, mentally being, hey, I'm prepared to hire somebody, I'm prepared for my business to grow, we have a demand. Now you have that person, but now you have to deal with the onboarding or other growth opportunities within the business. Like you mentioned, just the bookkeeping side of things. These are things that now you're forced to do, right? And I know for myself, a very a specific example that I can remember was, we get this question a lot. Should I incorporate now? How do I structure this thing? What to do? And man, I incorporated my company when I needed to. There was an opportunity I had. There was a deal that I had, and I was like, man, I'm going to do a flip right now. And the deal was going to close in with, I don't know, 6 weeks from the time that I found out about it. And I realized that I was going to have to pay way too much tax on this quick. It was actually a wholesale. It was like close on it and list it right away, right? So I realized, okay, in order to not pay that much tax, I need to incorporate. So what did I do? I incorporated. So it was that easy. That's when I incorporated, when I needed to, right? So I think this story that you're sharing is great, man, because it inspires me too when I think about, like, hiring and all that kind of stuff. And maybe Shawn, you can shed some light on it. Or sorry, Alex, go ahead, man.
Well, no, I will add one other quick thing, is that, it appears that you make the greatest progress when you're a little bit under pressure. I couldn't agree with you more. There's lots of examples I can give on that. However, I actually remember specific to the incorporating part, I remember vividly, like, the answers that the Matt McKeevers of the world would give people when they ask about incorporating. And I remember making the decision to incorporate, and, like, not a simple corporate structure either. which was quite a bit prior to needing it. So it almost seemed premature to do that kind of investment. But I did it with the mindset to force myself. I'm going to spend a bunch of money to create this corporate structure because I wanted to make this, to take it seriously, as opposed to, trying to wing it and find potentially like loopholes around it. I did it like from the beginning prior to needing it. Like now I'm definitely benefiting from it, but I think I did it well enough in advance at the point that I didn't need it.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as Cali. It was like, I'm going to end up having to pay way too much taxes. I need to get a corporate structure kind of set up here and then just start taking a wage, because like then it's just going to end up all in my personal bank account, and then the government's going to tax me as personal income. And rather than it, being left in an account and being able to help grow my business, it was going to be all my personal money, right? So, but yeah, so I mean, I agree with the point there where it's like a lot of growth is produced when your back's kind of against the wall, when you don't really have any other options. Then you kind of you push to get that extra stuff done where you wouldn't if it were simple. That you could, like, if you're out of town and dealing with the properties and stuff like that, rather than being in town, because you'll just go to it. You'll just go to the property and spend the time there and do whatever it is that you got to do to get done, rather than being away and then kind of maybe meeting up with those people or making those phone calls in order to solve those problems without you having to be there. And I'm noticing that more and more with projects that I'm taking on now, because it's like, I got all the stuff that I got to do at home, and then I got these other projects that I'm working with, and they're not far away. So I'm like, I'm going to run over there, and then it's like 10, 11 o'clock before I'm even ready to shut her down for the day. Like, so it's a whole other thing. But I think that's kind of the personalities that we all kind of have, where we'll, rather than put, if you don't have to, rather than like doing the processes and all that to get it all done, we'll just do more. if that makes sense. But I'm starting to realize that that's not scalable as well. So we're doing more and more to create these processes so we can eventually have someone else doing it for us.
Totally, man. No, great topic, Alex. So any other wins?
I'm cutting out a little bit, guys.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, is there any other wins we want to share so far from this last 7 days?
Well, I don't know if I want to call it a win yet. Kind of still got my fingers crossed about it. But property we just put up on Monday, we're holding back. Or no, we put it up on Tuesday because of the holiday on Monday. We're holding back offers until Monday, and we just got word through that there is going to be at least one offer being put in, and assured us that usually if they're holding back offers, they won't get the offers until the last minute. So that's, I don't want to say for sure we got an accepted offer, but it sounds like we got an offer on the table, and we should know more on Monday. But that's
cool, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, one. All you need is one.
Right.
You can only have one buyer. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it's the right one.
Well, and that's the thing. And I mean, it was a project that we kind of took on. We didn't put a ton of work into it, and but we got it back up for sale, and it's in good shape, and it looks pretty good now too. So it's up there, and we actually, what the realtor put it up for was more than we were expecting in the beginning. So even if we don't get the full amount, we're still up.
Don't say that on live, man. You want your buyers to to not know that. No, but anyway, regardless, that's awesome.
I'm sure the buyers aren't watching our show. No.
You never know.
We're in trouble.
I love that, man. When you go in there and you have numbers that you're using, because we like to use conservative numbers so that we're not, overinflating things and preparing ourselves for realistic expectations on the conservative side. And then the realtor is like, well, hey, I think you can get this, but they're not only saying it, they're actually getting it for you, right? Where sometimes, you always wonder, depending on your relationship with the realtor, if they have very optimistic views on how to price properties,
Yeah.
that could be dangerous because, you know, they could tell you, hey man, this place is worth $1 million, but really everything else on the street sold for 800, right? So you have to have some questions when you hear stuff like that.
100%. And I think it's kind of a combination of the two, really, because I mean, at the same time, when we are buying and when we're going into a deal, we're as conservative as possible, right? Like, because we want to make sure that, you know, there's multiple, like, you know, comparable sales that will determine, you know, what we're going to get out in the end. And obviously, I wouldn't take the highest price of all those things and expect to get that in any situation, because you never know with the market. But you know, so it is nice to, you know, have that little bit of a breathing room there. And then when a realtor does come in with that, and have seen a lot of cases where the realtor does just throw a out of this world kind of price at you, and you know, sometimes overpromise and underdeliver, right? But yeah, so, you know, luckily for my case, I already know that he's been able to get some higher prices than expected in a lot of the deals that you've done too. So, I mean, gives me a little bit of confidence, and, you know,
sure.
and it's always a little disheartening sometimes if you get the messages of the rating of the property when some people will go in.
Yeah. I get those.
And it just shows you like how different people's opinions are, right? Like when it comes to that stuff.
Man, like I said, all you need is one buyer, right? So yes, there's going to be people like, and again, you got to think that sometimes you have a house that's on the market and you might have 30 showings in a very short span of time, but not all 30 people are putting in offers, right?
No.
So, you know, every house isn't for everyone, right? And yeah, man, I think I see those as long as I get some good ones and the house, like you have an offer. So I think that's a great place to be, because that means anyone else now that's going to make an offer is going to make an offer a little bit, you know, they're going to have to come with an aggressive offer, right? Because they know they're competing and they don't know what the other offer is. So they're going to have to put their best foot forward. I haven't had too much experience with the multiple offers. I find it's a little different there in Moncton, whereas in Ontario, my experience with the multiple offers has been, you know, very aggressive at times with what buyers are willing to do. But man, if you can set the precedence here for us and you know, get your to have someone come in at like 120% of the asking price or something like that, that'd be huge, man.
Oh yeah, I'll be celebrating for sure.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I found is that the days on, like, so for example, here in Ontario, or at least in Southern Ontario market that I'm very familiar with, I'm finding that when we do hold off on offers, it's usually around a week, give or take, to allow a certain amount of people to get in there. I have found that, you know, in the Moncton market, just my experience personally, it's been a little bit of a shorter period. Now, it could be because there's a smaller buyer pool, or, you know, I just have confidence in the realtor that, hey, he gets it done, so I'm happy, right? But I did find that it's a bit of a shorter, like, Alex, what are you seeing in Southern Ontario for when you hold off on offers? Typically, what type of time are the agents giving buyers to get through there?
I'm not entirely sure if it can be quite as generic as saying Southern Ontario, as much as you know, one of the things that we look at. Well, no, for Hamilton, for example, there have been a lot of, or in some of these cities where there's a lot of like an influx of GTA people moving towards that particular zone. So I know that there's a lot of Toronto folks getting, especially first-time home buyers, that we've sort of catered to in some of the projects that I've been involved in. So because of that, the decision to give them a week to look at is also on the premise to give them a weekend. So try to give them as much time, because if buyers are coming in from Toronto, it's often not easy for them to, you know, drive down in the evening, and then the evenings get booked up solid. They may not be able to make it during the day to see the property, coordinating with their agent, as well as them traveling down from Toronto. So we'll insist on doing a week, but making sure that we catch a weekend in there, giving them, you know, Toronto folks an opportunity to see it. So, there's an aspect of that. I don't know if you're in London, I don't know if London has as many GTA people coming in to buy first-time home buyers.
Have you ever seen like a listing on a Thursday offers on a Monday? Is that typical? Like, not that I haven't seen it, but I've go on.
That's probably a way to do it. So wanting to catch the weekend in there, and then they hold offers on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, as a minimum, you'd want to do that. If there's been times where my listing got delayed from what you were just saying right now to the following week, just because we needed the weekend to complete a few items, and then because of that, we went on the market on Monday until the following Monday. So we were on the market for a full week, giving people the opportunity to come in.
Well, the tactic there might just be to get like a shorter period of time. So you're saying, okay, well, we're looking at offers in like a few days and, over the weekend, because the weekend's probably the biggest time for traffic. And then like you're getting those people that are in there a short window of time where they're going to have an opportunity to get in their offer. Right.
Here's the other thing that's happened on my last project. I forget the exact time that we had given them, but we had a few days, but we were open to bully offers. So 2 or 3 days after we went live, somebody decided to put in a bully offer. And then the agents still need to communicate to all interested parties that there's an offer at the table. So sure enough, now 2 more people came to the table, and we ended up accepting one of those 3 offers, even before we initially wanted to hold offers, before the date of. So once we saw there was interest, we basically opened it up, and then people just made offers, and we decided that we were already getting considerably above what I initially anticipated when I got involved in the project. So I didn't want to, I looked at it as, I'm not going to try to be greedy and just wait off whatever, let's see what these are. And we picked one, and that was it.
Was the person who initiated the bully offer the one who ended up getting it?
I think so, actually. I'm trying to think, but I think they did, yeah.
They wanted it the most.
Yeah, but they had to go back. So they went back and changed their offer once they learned that there was 2 more offers.
So was it price or terms?
It was price, because they can't offer me terms.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no conditions. Was it clean, or is that automatic?
I forget what they did. I think that they had something in there. They had, I think they had financial condition, but like 2 or 3 days or something silly. Actually, yeah, I think they ended up removing it even before our initial offer date.
Okay.
So they moved pretty quick on it. Like it seemed solid. They just needed like the final blessing from the bank or whatever it was, and so I felt comfortable. And this is where I very much trust my real estate agent, and if she's had the opportunity to discuss with the buyer's agent, she feels confident that that's a solid offer, then I trust her, and she's not let me down on that.
Yeah, totally. The agents are so valuable in what we do. I mean, a lot of times you get agents that have a scarcity mindset, thinking that because we are, active investors, a lot of stuff we're looking for is off market. Those are the agents that really don't get it. And those are the agents that really don't get our business. Yeah. So the ones that do understand the investor mindset of, hey, you know what, I'm getting this off market, but eventually it's going to go on market because I'm going to need someone like you to reach out to a larger audience to get me the maximum, and to have this preliminary questionnaire with other agents, right? While I'm out there building the business, I think there's a ton of value that they add, from that perspective as well, right?
Yeah.
This is slowly turning into the Praise Cindy show.
Oh, Cindy. Yeah. We got to get Cindy on here, man. Everyone's wondering who's Cindy.
We're having her on the show, yeah.
So I have, on that note, and it would have been way too premature at this point because I actually just spoke to her and I know she's swamped. But on that note, I did speak to her about that. I would love to have her on here at one point or another in a very near future. The 4 of us will talk, but yeah, I would love to bring her on.
Yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
anybody watching, throw it in the comments what you want us to ask Cindy when Cindy comes on, please, because we want to make sure we're bringing value and we're, you know, her time is valuable and so is yours. So if you're going to be watching us, we want to make sure that we're answering some of the questions that you have.
For what it's worth, so I guess she's with Keller Williams. She's highly experienced in real estate, having been in it for 15, 20 years. I'm not entirely sure. She's an investor herself, and maybe not as active as we would be, but she's owned properties, multiple properties herself, and just a wealth of knowledge, and very much obviously open to real estate investors. So yeah, anybody out there watching, by all means, we'll make it known when she's about to come on, and but if you have questions for her, she's a wealth of knowledge.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, and like just kind of back to where, what Callie was saying about like scarcity mindset for a lot of realtors. I've noticed that in really all kind of, trades and everything that you're dealing with, you'll have those certain people that kind of get it and get what you're doing and are more than willing to kind of work with you to create a relationship and kind of go down the rabbit hole, as it were, with you, and kind of, they see the value of building a long-term relationship there, where you'll have some guys that'll want to come work for you or do contracting work and stuff like that. And you can, it's super obvious they're just there for a paycheck and they don't care about the quality of the work or building a relationship with you or anything like that. Like, I mean, I know, Alex, you probably meet with a lot of different contractors and stuff like that. Is that something that you notice as well?
Oh, certainly. No, most definitely. So, I've actually had the opportunity to talk a little bit about that this past week, and I do want to kind of, maybe we'll jump on that, but jump back to that. This past weekend, at the in-person mastermind, getting the opportunity to meet a lot of new investors, a lot of investors that are joining council. I talked a little bit about that and the difference. So the difference in my approach now versus even just a few months ago, maybe 10 months ago, where I didn't have all the sub trades, and I'd find myself, whatever, picking up the yellow pages, Googling, hey, I need a Tyler. And you'd get guys in walking through that are used to working with consumers. And when I say that, like homeowners, renovation, bathroom. And, there's that tendency to try to upsell you on things that like tile and backsplash and like, particulars that I know for a fact are not going to bring me any value, versus other investors that understand, hey, other contractors that understand this is an investment. So clean, modern is sufficient. Like, you don't need to go above board because this area, there's a ceiling to what I'm trying to do here, to this particular project that I'm completing. And then even more so, one of the contractors that I'm now working with, and I have him working on a few projects, I find out in conversation that, I mean, his portfolio is about 3 times of mine in terms of real estate investments. A lot of buy and holds. He does his own flips, and and they have the contracting business. But he's been doing it sort of. I don't want to say just in the shadows, but he's just maybe been doing it. Well, he's been doing it longer, and he's been doing it the old school way, word of mouth, and the only marketing that they might do is on their contracting side, not on the real estate investment side. So yeah. I very much value that kind of relationship.
Yeah, it's a good one to have for sure.
For sure.
Awesome. We're pretty much at the end of the time here. I don't know if you guys anything else. Do we have any wins or anything that we want to talk about, or anything else important you want to say before we're done the show?
I had a win. One of the sales that actually a property in Moncton that I bought off of Mr. Gunter. Worked with Daniel on getting the work done, and then handed it off to Kyle Johnson to get it sold. That's sold and it closes in next week, actually. So a week from now it closes. So it's a really quick close. So I'm happy there. We were successful with that, and yeah, man, that's a big win. So just looking for more. Who's got the deals?
Awesome, Callie.
Who's got the deals?
Yeah, Shawn, you got to turn the tap on.
I gotta crank that tap up there and get things moving here a little bit quicker. I'm finding right now with the whole back to school and all that stuff, it's been slowing things down a little bit, but I'm sure here once everything evens out in the next couple of weeks, things will start picking back up. So yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. All right. So do you want to just do the little outro here? Or?
Yeah, no,
Let's do it.
I guess I'll go. Thanks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Alex Mustatea with Hammer City REI, focused on flips and multifamily conversion projects through the GTA, based out of Hamilton. And we're also focused on Southwestern Ontario, Chatham region. Always happy to connect and share my journey. I can be reached on my cell phone, 289-769-8975, or on Instagram, alexandru.mustatea.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in, listening to us share our wins and stories and commentary for this last 7 days. I'm Cali Braithwaite. I'm out of the GTA, actively focusing on flips and assignments and also some developments. So in Ontario and in New Brunswick, if you ever want to chat with me and, just pick my brain on what I got going on and how you may be able to get involved in some of the fun that I'm having and the money that I'm creating for the investors I'm working with, please give me a shout, 289-207-5316 at Grow with Cali on Instagram.
I like how you put that. Get involved with the fun that I'm having.
Oh, for sure, man. If you're not having fun, what are you doing?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm Shawn Gunther, and I'm out of the Moncton, New Brunswick area. And like I say every time, and if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest here in New Brunswick, definitely get in touch with me. Also, we are looking to expand the team. So if you're interested in getting involved in real estate investing and not really sure how to get started, definitely give us a shout. You can reach me at 506-800-4289, on Instagram at the Moncton Homebuyer, and or on Facebook just under my name, Shawn Gunther. And yeah, so we're thankful that everybody's tuned in again this week, and hope to see you guys again here next week. And definitely, we love seeing your comments. So definitely get in touch with us. And Valerie's been kind enough here to put our email address that we have now on the bottom of the screen here, so you can send us any suggestions that you have if you're watching this when it's not live. We'd love to hear from you, and yeah, I hope to see you again here next week, the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, see you next week.
Cheers, guys.